Good day. This is Doc coming to you from Beaverdale, Iowa, in the United States of America. Thank you for joining this podcast again. It's Adventures with Doc in Africa. Uh, my wife and I are headed back to Africa in just 1 week, and we're really excited to get back there. We'll be there through the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. Today, we have a couple that I'm just getting to know, Claire and Jonah, who were recently in South Africa with their wonderful church, Hilltop Church in Waukee. And so I'd like to just turn it over to them and ask you two to introduce yourselves, and then we'll just want to hear about your adventures that you had while you were in Africa.
Like you said, my name is Jonah Vanderkoy.
And I'm Claire.
And we just went on our church's first mission trip to South Africa, first mission trip ever. And we got back somewhere around 2 weeks ago. So we had a blast. We thought it was awesome, and we're excited to share about it.
Yeah, I had a lot of good feedback. I was talking to my son a couple of times a day while you guys were there, and it sounded like everybody was just having the time of their lives. Just reflect a little bit on what you did, what you enjoyed, and kind of what God was doing in your heart while you were there.
Yeah, we had the privilege to go to the gala for the last 2 years. And when we went for the last one last year, not this past one, but the year before, the trip wasn't set for Hilltop yet, but we just fell in love with what Blessman was doing at that gala and just the ministry and what the Lord was doing. And we said, we have to go. We have to go. Somehow, some way, we have to go. I wanted to go to Africa as long as I can remember. And so we said, we have to go. And so when Hilltop had the church sign up, we were on it. We were at the meetings. We were so excited. And we just were excited to be able to finally do it. I feel like we've been talking about it forever.
While we were there, there was so much good that we were doing. Just a few highlights from me were we got to see them drilling for a well and hit water, and that was an awesome experience to be able to see that. And all the kids were there and they saw that, and the caretakers were all jumping around and raising their hands and everything, and that was really cool.
The need for water is just so severe that they really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
What else do you remember about that preschool or creche?
We loved our time there. At the preschool we went to, that got the well dug, just seeing that happen, seeing all the kiddos there was amazing. And then we also got to plant a garden there as well and do the drip irrigation system, which was so powerful, just to see the work that Blessman is doing to implement those programs and then teach and grow and sustain those kids, and just to see who's getting that food and who gets to enjoy it was amazing. And to get our hands in the dirt and just do some work was pretty special. We loved that.
Yes. That's one of the reasons I think we have the best water project in the world, is because we don't just drill a well. It's a complete water system. It has a water meter in it, a SIM card in the water meter. That talks to our website, so we know immediately if that thing goes offline and quits working. In addition to planting a garden, we also train them how to take care of their own garden, because it doesn't do any good to go in and plant one garden and then walk away. And so Johan is just amazing at being sure they know. And our ministry actually supplies all the seedlings for the first year so that that garden keeps going. And it's our dream and our hope that after a year, they will carry it on themselves. And we've been at it long enough now, we're beginning to see some success in the sustainability side. I don't think the garden you guys did also had chickens, did it? We're trying to add a little flock of laying hens to each of our water projects now. And that'll be added to the one you were at later. But it makes a nice completion. They get water and fresh vegetables and then eggs too. So really good stuff. Well, what else did you enjoy?
We did several different outreaches that we loved. The boys were hunting on this day, but the girls got to do the shoe outreach. So we got to go to a school, and I think we did about 100 kids. We gave about 100 kids shoes. So we got to wash their feet give them new shoes, new socks, and pray over them. And that was really impactful for me, just to, one, see just the poverty side of things with their shoes falling apart, and just the excitement on their faces when they saw the brand new shiny shoes. But then just to sit down and humble ourselves to wash their feet was incredible. It made me feel like Jesus, which was just a huge blessing, just to walk and do those things that I know are important to Jesus too, in a serving way. So that was really, really special for me, and something I will remember forever, probably.
You were blessed to come when you did, because a few years ago we used to give them out used shoes that people would donate to us, and we'd give them new shoes for them, but they were used. And then we found this manufacturer that gives us new shoes, and they're actually the same style that the school shoes are supposed to be, with the school uniforms. And so it's really a good blessing to those kids. And did you get to do a girls empowerment outreach while the guys were hunting?
We did the girls empowerment the day before, and the guys got to actually do a little hygiene talk as well.
Yep, it was about becoming a man. That was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, that's been so needed for so long. Jonah, tell me what you think of the effectiveness of that. Do you think that's making a difference in those young men to have these kind of father to son or grandfather to grandson talk with the boys?
Yeah, I do think it does make a big difference, especially being able to do these like at public schools there, where it's still talked about, but maybe not as much. And with the culture that they had, they talked a little about the culture and different things like that. I think it's super important to be able to bring up these things to those boys. And the questions that they asked, it seemed like they were willing to participate in understanding what was going on and everything. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it too. And we've been doing girls empowerment for a few years now. The boys program is probably just a year, 2 years old. And we need to keep improving it, but we are as we go. And I love getting feedback from people like you that have been there, and a lot of good ideas come out of people that go on a mission trip and say, well, why aren't you doing this? Or why don't you do it this way? So appreciate you guys meeting with us today and giving us your thoughts. Did you get to do an eye outreach while you were there, or eye tests and give out glasses?
Yeah, we did get to do that as well. And that was awesome. That was really fun to be able to make a little game out of the visual test before they get in line to go get glasses.
Well, Jonah, tell us a little bit about your hunting. What were you hunting?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think we had a pretty good sized group actually go hunting. I think there were 7 of us total. And that was really cool. It was surreal to be able to actually hunt in Africa. And there were 3 of us that brought our bows to go, that are bow hunters here, and were able to bring them over. So I went after a Nyala, because they're one of my favorite African animals, and was fortunate enough to get one.
The males are so beautiful, and it's an interesting species because the males and the females don't look anything alike. What an amazing gift that is to add the protein to the kids' diet. Did you guys get to sit around the African campfire in the evening and kind of share what God's doing in your heart while you were there? Was that an experience you guys were able to have?
Yes, it was cold. We were there in the winter, so it was a little chilly at night, but we packed accordingly. We brought our jackets and our hats, and we had some tea and coffee and hot chocolate out there. But it was a beautiful time. Well, probably one of my favorite times too, just as a team and a group to come around and hear a good word from Pastor Brandon. He would usually share a devotional, and then just to be able to hear about the day. I mean, we were all together most of the day, but so many people had different moments where the Lord was doing something special in their heart, or a special interaction they had with a kid or a staff member. So to be able to hear all of that was super encouraging. There's usually some tears just in the processing and the thankfulness just of all of it, which was just special. to come
There's
together in that way.
almost always tears, and I always think
Yeah.
that's the Holy Spirit when the tears are coming out. Well, other memories.
We loved going to the church. We got to go to Hope Church, which our church Hilltop helped fund, which was really cool. Kind of a full circle moment to come be able to see the church and know that we had a small part in that. But we got to go to a Friday night service, youth service, and then we got to go to the Sunday mornings.
And I love Friday nights there. It's like a revival going on. Those kids don't want to leave church. I'm pretty sure if we'd leave the lights on and a little bit of music, they'd stay all night.
Yeah. I think a lot of people on the trip would agree that was one of the highlights was Friday night service. It was very powerful.
Just the joy that they have to worship Jesus. And even for me, I love to dance. And so I got to go out there and dance with them, and they just loved that. And it was just really special, and it made me feel so close to the Lord, like you were describing earlier, just to be able to fully abandon and praise in that way. It's just exciting and fun, and to be able to sing with them was powerful because they sing loud no matter what. It doesn't matter how you can sing, it's loud, and it's amazing.
And pretty good quality.
I'm actually a mental health counselor here in West Des Moines.
So I would come back every team.
I wish I could. I would. But I work for Heartland Christian Counseling. And so doing the counseling was really special for me. And being able to do it with Jonah was really special. Just to have, that time. And we even had a girl that we talked to that we said, what do you want prayer for? Tell us about your life. And she said, I just want Jesus in my heart. I want to accept him, and I want him in my heart. And so we got to pray over her, but then also walk her through the prayer of proclaiming Jesus as Lord, and that she wanted to serve him. And then we're able to just give her some wisdom on, connecting and diving into church and diving into scripture to continue to build that.
We also had a whole room of girls come up and ask us advice on how not to argue with each other. So that was fun.
We got to go to the baby house.
Oh yeah. That's always a winner. We've supported that baby house probably for 8-10 years now, and they appreciate us so much. And boy, they just give heart and soul to those little babies. And I'm hoping that it gets a little easier to adopt some of those babies to America, because they really need good adoptive parents. But the government has been reluctant to let Americans adopt their babies. They want them to be adopted by a culturally similar family in South Africa, but the culturally similar families in South Africa aren't big on adoption. And so there's so many of those kids that just they age out at 2 years old. Nobody's adopted them, and then they end up going to another institution. And, if we could get them in a good home those first 2 years, that would be a blessing to the families and to the children. So,
the trip was over and we didn't want it to be over. We wanted to stay. We didn't want to come home. And another special piece was getting to go to Del Kramer several times throughout the week. I loved being able to go back and kind of build those relationships and start to recognize some kids. And we're hoping to start sponsoring a kiddo as well, which would be really special. So just to be able to have that continued connection was special throughout the week. Singing with them, dancing. You got to play some netball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we love animals. We love all of it. So I was just in awe of the Lord's creation, and the uniqueness of all the animals in Africa was just amazing. And so to be able to see that all up close, both at the Lodge of Dreams and on the safari, was just amazing. Our families kept saying, it feels like you're at a zoo.
Yeah, everything but the snakes. I've been there 20 plus years, and I still don't like to have the encounters with the snakes. Well, I really appreciate your church. You guys are amazing that you supported us building a church in Africa, and you're still in the process of building your own church. And that just says volumes about the heart of your pastor for missions and the heart of, all of you that go there. So I personally want to thank you for all of our kids in Africa, for all that you guys do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you for the work that you've done and
Yeah.
starting this. And it's just amazing to watch the Lord work through Blessman. And we've, just been thankful to now be a part of the Blessman family.
All right. Well, I really
Awesome.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.